launched the Fusion IoT Network a few months ago, but we've been in the IoT connectivity business for a long time, and we have a lot of experience with many customers, hundreds of successful deployments, some small, like at 100 units, some that are very large, like over 2 million units. And so we've learned a lot in those deployments, and we've taken that learning to basically inform our direction for the Fusion launch. And there's a few key areas that we believe that we're significantly differentiated from competitors. The first is that with the Fusion IoT Network, we believe that we've created a kind of a step function increase in operational efficiency. And that's through what we can do in terms of deep control of the devices, as well as real-time visibility into what they're doing and the ability to kind of act on those insights. And what we've seen with our others in the market is that either the insights aren't actionable or they're coming too late. So that's an area that we've done a lot of work on, and we think we have some very interesting capabilities there. The second area is in network and carrier flexibility. What we see is there's a lot of new wireless technologies, LTE-M, NB-IoT, 5G, old technologies are still there, and as customers want to move from regional deployments to global deployments, a single technology or carrier doesn't really work. And so with the Fusion Network, we look at a global flexible deployment across technologies that really fit the needs of the enterprise, as opposed to force-fitting them onto a single technology. And then the third area is basically a blurring of the lines between the connectivity layer and the IoT application layer. And historically, those have been kind of siloed, and there's not a lot of information sharing across those. And with the Fusion Network, we are doing things that break those barriers and to improve security, and also to improve application performance by doing it in a way that the application's aware of the status of the device, whether it's on the network, whether it's registered, whether it's roaming or not. So those are things that previously in other solutions that information is not available, and we think that's a big differentiator for us. Yeah, so those are cost reduction, time to market improvement, and operational efficiency. That's what every customer wants. And so, and there is no silver bullet for all those things. There's basically a number of things that we do to make those things happen. The first is support, actually. And when we think of support, most people think of support as like there's a problem and then you call the company and then they fix it. We think of it a lot more broadly, so we are actually proactively checking the network and our customers' deployments to see if there are problems. We actually want to find problems before they do and fix them. And then if there is something that they need to address, how do we have the tools that in which they can roll out that fix in a scalable and automated way if they have a large deployment. So there's a lot that we're doing in the support side that we think is really quite unique and valuable. Beyond that, there's a number of innovations that we have in the Fusion Network. For instance, we've offered connectivity-aware APIs that can be used for an OTA service, an over-the-air update service that historically an over-the-air update is performed without knowledge of what the device is doing, whether it's even available. And that's inefficient, and it's actually a bigger problem when you get to new technologies like LTE-M and NB-IoT, which are bandwidth constrained. So those are some of the innovations that we've done that collectively kind of create those types of metrics for our customers. Yeah, we see, and that's a question that a lot of our customers are wrestling with, because we see IoT is not a market, it's an enabling technology that we see affecting basically every market. Pretty much everything here at CES will be IoT enabled or connected over the next decade. And many of those customers that kind of struggle is like, where do I get started on that? And the way we look at it is, and basically, again, based on our experience and what we've seen as successful companies, is that if you essentially look at the product that you're building and that you have built for many years, and you understand the full set of business processes around that product, like the product development process, the manufacturing process, supply chain process, the marketing process, sales, service process, and you look at how IoT can improve those processes. So you're trying to make actually a better product as opposed to using IoT to create a separate new business. So you kind of start simple and say, how do I improve one of these processes, and then have an architecture that's kind of flexible enough as you learn more, you can continue to expand. But the most important thing is to have like achievable goals that are narrowly defined and that fit within your existing business processes, so that the company, the enterprise can accept that. A lot going on. I actually feel that in 6 years I've been with Aeris, I don't think we've ever been better positioned from a technical infrastructure perspective in terms of having the baseline infrastructure to build upon for new functionality. So there's a lot that we're planning to do without getting into too many details on specific timing of those new features, but in the area of AI and ML to increase operational efficiency, increasing carrier portability in a way that's very cost effective for customers that are looking to manufacture in one region and potentially sell in many other regions. And we're also looking at significant advancements by working with partners, hardware makers, as well as cloud providers. We view the big cloud service providers as major players in IoT. That's kind of where all the new deployments are happening. And we're looking at working closely with them to create kind of breakthrough new technologies to improve time to market and efficiency.